Hey guys, Wheatywaffle here today, and we are back in City Skylines 2, playing our city of Second City. And in between parts, I was just kind of messing around. I hadn't really played with the Netherlands pack yet, and so I was over here in Amberwood. And we used to have a park right here, which just started to feel like there was too many parks. We had a park here. We had basically Harley as kind of a little bit of a park. We've got this pond. Then we have Cedar Junction. And I was like, okay, it's a lot of green space. And I want to beef this up a bit. So I started playing around with the Netherlands pack. I started right here. And I was just placing some houses. These are just level 5 Netherlands row homes, but they look so good. Like, I just was obsessed with how this looked. I added in some parking back here, as well as one of these large emergency shelters. And then there is these, I think these are like the medium density houses. It looked so good. So I was just messing around, having a good little time, put like a little, gas station on the corner, etc. And then it kind of revolved into me redoing this whole area, which I'm now calling Agatha Heights. The only reason I gave it a different district, as you can see, I kind of pulled it out of Amberwood. So Amberwood's getting a little gerrymandered, if you ask me. But I pulled it out so I could see how many people were over here and figure out if we needed a school, etc. These are some of the low density or the low rent houses, which look phenomenal. And I just gave it, a little bit of a glow up. And I made sure that everywhere I finished, I added in a grass surface just so it feels complete. And now this is maybe one of my favorite areas. In doing that, I did create 2 new roads. I downloaded the road editor, and I now have 2 roads. I've got this road here, which is essentially an alleyway with sidewalks. So let me just show you the roads we're working with. In the base game, you've got the regular road, right? It's 2 tiles long. It's got 2 lanes. It also has shoulders and it has sidewalks. But the only way to stop parking is to either add grass, which is fine, and I like the grass, but I don't always want it, or to expand the sidewalk. But then that sidewalk is huge, and especially for a smaller area, I didn't feel like I needed so much pavement, because then when you look at it from above, you're like, wow, that's just like a lot of pavement. So I started by switching everything over to an alleyway, which was all fine, except for then I just noticed people walking right along the edge, and I wanted them to have a dedicated sidewalk to walk on. Unfortunately, though, you can't add wide sidewalks to a road that doesn't have sidewalks. So I created an alleyway with small sidewalks. It's a little bit smaller than the 2 tiles of the main road, but it essentially functions the same. We've got basically an alleyway that just has sidewalks along the edges. So that's the first road we made. Then I was messing around in this area, and I was like, wow, it'd be great if the buses would be on the farthest lane. Like, they're just always in the way. I'd love if they weren't in those lanes. The regular avenue, you can get a bus station and it expands into the shoulder, and then people park obviously on the other shoulder. But if you go in and you try to upgrade this so that it has, where's the upgrade button? So that it has your bus lane, the bus lane cannibalizes one of the 2 lanes. So I wanted still to have 2 lanes, but I wanted the bus lane to take over the parking and kind of combine with where the natural pull-off is for the buses. Not possible. Which led me to the creation of this road here. So this guy is an avenue. It's technically a 6-lane avenue, but it is the size of a 4-lane road. And the 6 lanes, keep zooming out way too far. The 6 lanes end up having it so that your bus lanes are on the outside. You've got your 2 lanes in the middle, and then you also have your sidewalks the same. There's no shoulder, there's no parking. Probably not the safest road, but it looks the way I want for this section. So I'm really happy with that. So I added a bit of a bus lane here and just kind of beefed up this area. All of this got me thinking, okay, I think it's time we work down here. I've got an idea forming, and I want to try to explore that idea today. Now that I've kind of messed around with the Netherlands pack, I want to use that in this space. So we're going to build out Old City today. First things first, we're going to get rid of this small district. It's just so tiny. We don't need it. And then I'm going to come in here, and we're just going to expand this out a bit. That looks pretty good. And as I was looking at it, I realized I hate this. I hate this leg of the elevated rail, the monorail, or no, not monorail, subway. I just think it looks ridiculous. I don't think that you would ever have done that, and I want to integrate it better so it's not on the outskirts of the town, but ideally more central to the town. So what we're going to do, I'm going to quickly just pause this, and we're going to, you know what, we're going to leave it paused, and we're going to just delete this station and delete this line all the way back to here. All right. And actually, while I'm looking at it, let's go ahead and just give this one side a little key wall there. That looks much nicer. Much nicer. Why did we not do that from the beginning? All right. You probably know where I'm going with this. I want to get this to go in between the roads. So this is going to take some finagling. I'm certain of that. But let's see if we can do it. Let's see if we can do it. I think that this turn here would probably be too tight. If I bring it up so that it's kind of connecting. Oh, that's like the entire wrong set of roads. That's why it's not working. We go over here. Let's bring this down. And let's start to bring this up. Because we got this underneath without Anarchy, right? That's a little bit too high. So we could bring it down to here. I'm just afraid this curve is not going to be... It's going to be too much. All right, let's do this. Let's bring this out here and get rid of this segment. And let's try to do this here first. If I were to bring this over and through like this, can we make this work? Not by default. Not by default. Wow. Okay, yeah, that's exactly what I was hoping to build. Thanks. Thanks so much for that. That's great. Let's lower this avenue down. Let's lower the avenue down. Let's go into here. This avenue is to here. Let's move that to the height of the next node, which will definitely get it lower, which is great. That could be enough space. Could be. Bring this down. Let's see. It's going to take some trial and error. So we're just going to have to keep kind of messing with it. That works. That works. If I were to go a little bit further back, we can turn it. Hold on. We can turn it. Yeah. Put that right there. Get rid of... You gotta be kidding me. You're making me Anarchy delete? Just let me delete. Don't make it more challenging than it has to be. Let's connect back up into this guy. And let's just go straight. 3.4. Yeah, that's fine. I'm fine with that being supported with the wall there. All right, so then this is going to cut through this area, right? The road goes underneath. I do need to fix this. This is the wrong key. As you can see, this is the key that should be along the side of the water. And because of that, it looks a little strange. We probably need to upgrade this. 4-lane road with grass. Go ahead and upgrade. Turn off this guy. Put a key wall on this side. Yeah. Yep. That's what we want. Now, unfortunately, that's going to mean only one side will be able to have grass and trees. But I'm okay with that. Bring the grass all the way down here. Add it to here as well and here. We're going to probably actually rework all this. So let me just leave that alone. Put some trees all the way along this edge. They work just fine. And they don't actually intersect with anything here, which is great. We're going right through the trees. And then I want to bring this out along the center here and then bring it off the edge. Now, before we do any of that, I do think we've got to do a little bit of just height work over here. This should be the same height as this. This should be the same height as this. This should be the same height as this. After which point, if they diverge a little bit, that's okay. Let's see if that's enough room to kind of feed this through here. Now, if I do continuous, we might be able to make this work just fine. So right here, continuous plus 2.1%. Scoot it over just a little bit more. Then we need to keep going this direction. There is an opportunity right there, and that's plus 0.6. I'm going to actually increase it by 2. Can I go further? Oh, we can. Hold on. 2.9. Increase it again. That's plus 0.3, plus 4.2. 2.9 might be okay. Oh, we don't need the wall. Hold on. That's what I was doing. I accidentally had that with a wall on it. I mean, I guess up to there is fine. What I need to do now is just basically get this over this highway. But this is where we're gonna probably struggle the most. That's working just fine. Right there, which I'm fine with. Maybe what we'll do is we'll bring it over here so it ends over this direction. If I were to do this and bring it down to the ground, where would we be at? Negative 1.5. I could easily rework that road. Yeah, I think reworking the road is going to be easier. So remove both of those. Go ahead, connect right back up onto this guy. Give it a decent curve. Right? Negative 2.5, negative 2.2. I don't actually know what our topography looks like. Not great for this, but we'll survive. Okay. Then, oh, here we go. Then if we flatten right where the subway will be, and I might even flatten all this, to be totally honest, but we'll flatten this area out real quick. And I'm thinking we're going to use the small overground subway station. I think that's what I'd like here. Bam. Obviously going to need a road in the front. We'll figure all that out. But now we've got a subway. It's coming right off the station. So this initial turn will be slow. That's okay. This turn here is honestly not that bad. I think I can get into that. Now, let's do this. Are we able to just flatten that out and make that look better? We absolutely can. And we might even go ahead, if we're able to do this, let's add a key wall here because we've got it going up, which is great. But I think having a key wall there kind of indicates we're about to enter into a bridged section, which I think looks nice. It's also good because it kind of separates the two highways from one another, which is great. And we'll also key wall this side. It's not really needed, but I think it looks good. Okay. Oh, I cannot believe that worked. That was way simpler than I anticipated. Okay. Now, we got to raise this up. I'm thinking we use Move It, and we set this bridge to this height. We set this to this height, and we let that be really tall. Let's see what it looks like when we bring it back down. If we go to continuous curve, and we continuous curve from here to here, we're at negative 15.5. But in all honesty, not the worst. We probably should have had constant slope on, though. And look, the moment I add constant slope, it does run into a slight challenge. Oh, no, it doesn't. 15.4. Send it out straight. Is it aggressive? Very much so. Is this ending absolutely terrible? Yeah, even more so. There's got to be a way to do this that isn't so horrendous. We do have this avenue already coursing through and then over those roads. Does this road need to? Yeah, because this is like the main road. This needs to go all the way through. Let's do this first. Keep this in line here. Raise this up to, oh, not that much, to what it needs to go over top. It should need no more than like 8.75, maybe 10. Okay, maybe a bit more because we're elevated there. Okay. It needs that much. What does this look like? Is that wild? To have a section with a decent hill is not a problem to me. And we know that this could be lower because we raised that ourselves. They've also updated Move It, so now I can hold the button to lower and raise things, and it works so much nicer. That's not bad. It really needs a support here, but we can add that in post. Now to get this to this. I think the best way we're going to do that is really by bumping Front Street even further out. If I just grabbed this road and I just brought this road over like this and connected it in, right? Just pushed the shoreline a little bit further up. Okay. Let's then delete all of this and delete this. See, I told you it wasn't going to last long. That had to go. And honestly, that has to go too. Because I want to use the key wall 4-lane. Give me a slight curve outwards, right? To like right here. And then send it just straight at the 180. Looks pretty good to me. I kind of want to bring the water all the way up. Maybe we will. Maybe we will. Yeah. Connect right up into here. Let's get a curve. We really want to just connect up to that guy. So I think if I'm at the 180 and I can lock onto that, bam. We can do this. Then we switch over to the regular. We connect right up and in. 5.7. All right. All right. Upgrade that to have a key wall. We can then adjust the surface of the ground here. Can I force this to have the same? I can. It also means that we now have an opportunity to send this further along. And really what it means is we could probably even consider connecting these two up together. This would then connect back into here. What line is on here? We have the orange line. We got to do some exploring. The orange line goes to where? It goes right up the center of the city. It goes over this direction. And it comes over to Doris Park, which is where the orange line ends. The green line goes all the way around here into Sheffield, cuts here into the center of the city by Wilmar, and then that comes over to here. I mean, honestly, they're so close. They almost start and end together. This would just create a loop really around the highest density area. I wonder if we leave the green line and the orange line and we just add in an additional connection or additional line entirely. This subway stop is right here. Right? There's the subway underground. That's actually a pretty cool looking view. I think we go for this. Turn off the key wall and drop this puppy underground. Connect right up to this guy. Although we haven't connected yet. Doesn't look like. Like, how low is this? Okay. Okay. Let's keep going this direction. We want to get it to raise. Because we need to get it over there. I think this section here could just be straight the whole way through. Up to here. It goes downhill ever so slightly. Yep. Yep. Then we can rotate this out this way. We kind of want to get to that height. If we were just to go like this, down -1%. I can't tell what that angle change is. -2.3. Okay, that's a -6. We can't have a -6. Are we above ground? Oh, no. It just looked... Yeah, we are. Right there. Okay. We're going to approach the opposite side from this way. If I were to take this guy here, Send it straight on out. You got to go negative 7.5 before you can go underground, which is too much. Too much. So, grab this height and dead end right into here and bring that same height to the other side. Let's then use an alleyway and an alleyway. Upgrade this center section into a bridge. Better yet, so she doesn't look so horrendous, let's just build a bridged section from here to here, like so. Yep. Yep. That's it. You done it. All right, now, raise this back to ground level. I truly believe there needs to be a button right here that's just like a straight line, and it means that you can take whatever height you're at and go back to 0. Just give me a return to 0 button. That's all the people want. Let's do a complex curve. Let's complex curve this direction, and then let's begin to go down from here. At this point, we're at negative 4.8. To get it underground, that doesn't look like the underground option. Oh, I have it literally set to the wrong button. That's probably why. We can go to here. That does give me underground, but it's 5.4, which is too high. 5.1. We want it below 5. That much we know. So I think we're going to take this, continue to send this down this way. Actually, no, better yet, grab this height here. Set this to this height, right? Kind of like our entrance height. Then grab this, increase it in size. So from here to here, go ahead and send that up. So now, see, we need a 0 button. Look at this. Ridiculous. Come on, people. We've only gone 1.4 degrees. We're doing that. We're doing that. We will make this look prettier. I do think, though, if that's what that side looks like, yeah, it just ruins the whole thing. I mean, I could leave that as long as this is actually underground. Is it underground? It is. It's not pretty. It's not pretty by any means. I do almost, though, want to just try this one more time. Bring this up to 0. Connect into here. Just go straight and go underground like so. If I do it with that on, you see it, which I don't want you to see that. But then, can I just remove it? Okay. That doesn't work either. Give us some more room. Give us some more room. Now. Come back. Back at the 0. Just go straight. Get her to go underground. 1.5. Oh, crap. Forgot I had the wrong thing on. Hold on. Snap to underground. Why does it do that? Why do I get one side that, like, refuses to have the appropriate thing on it? I'm not following the thinking here. I don't feel in my spirit that because we're not. I didn't feel that we were underground, you know? Oh boy. I mean, she's ugly, but I think if we hide it right, it might work. So let's bring this back underground, connect up to here, and we need to get this over to there, which is honestly not going to be that challenging. So he says. There we go. We're kind of making another ring road, but just of subway. Now, let's go ahead and adjust this subway stop to here. This subway now goes from here all the way along the river's edge, and then it curves into the city, comes over to here, and ends up all the way over here by MTU. I'm wondering if this would be better served looping around this whole section in both directions. I think we just get rid of it. Let's just delete the L. Let's try the L again. The L started here. It weaved its way through the highway. It came over to here to Front Street. Then the L would move over here to whatever neighborhood this is, South 2nd. Yeah, South 2nd and Sierra Hill. Then it's going to go all the way over here and stop outside of this train station over here in Cypress. It'll curve around Warehouse Bend and stop over here in Sheffield. Then it will move up and through the city before stopping over here in, I guess, Alexandria. Or no, Denny Ridge. Then it's going to make a very abrupt turn, but because it's coming out of the station, it's not a big deal. It will then stop here at Wilmar, where it will then reconnect with this line and stop right here at Longview. Come a little bit further down. I mean, it's the densest part of our city, so it makes sense there's a few stops. Middle Peak. Come all the way down here to Trafford College. Over here to Pinewood Acres. Over here to Mullins. And then it ends up looping itself back up and around. We could even add a stop over here into the Fish. I don't know yet, though. But if I were to do this, and then we were to do the return route the same way, we now have two loops kind of forming around the densest part of our city where all of our work is, right? All of our white-collar office jobs, high education work. Then you come over here to a place where you can get educated, and then we pass through multiple neighborhoods that are just jam-packed with people. That all makes total sense. Now the question is, really for this center section, we now have two trains going along that center area that are sharing this line with another train line, the orange line. So this stop is getting hit by three separate trains, two for the L and one for the orange line. This stop is getting hit by three separate trains, three separate trains, three separate trains, three separate trains, three separate trains. We've also completely removed the connectivity of this area here. And so what I think we do, now I've kind of diverted to just working on our subway. Not a bad thing by any means. But what I think we do is we go back over here into the underground mode. If I were to turn everything off and just begin to kind of merge this out, here's where Doris Park sits. Can we reasonably get a connection over here into Doris Park? Go for it. Now, with that in place, we can also do a regular curve from here over to here. All right. If we had a spur that came out here, it needs to be orange because it will still be the orange line. If we had a spur that started here in the MTU University area, it then moves over here and it stops in Munster. It curves past Lexington Hill, comes all the way down and into here. This is where things get a little dicey because technically we've got some other lines in here that I would want to keep separate. But if we moved this line to here, to Wilmar, we then brought it further up into Alexandria, rotated it around over here into, I guess, Ortega, and then Doris Park, which is really a transportation hub. Then we bring it back up and around and reconnect into MTU. we now have another circle loop. Okay. One thing I noticed is we've got a bit of confusion right here in that now this line for the elevated should actually go there instead. Now if we have our other line, all right, what we can see is that we've got an orange line that's going from MTU up here into Doors Park, down over here, looping back down to Wilmar, coming back up and over. We have the opposite version going this way as well. So we've got like a loop here around Ortega, essentially. They all share a stop here at Wilmar, which is only 3 blocks from this station where we've got 3 train lines all doing different things. And eventually we're going to upgrade this. Somebody gave me a great suggestion. It's going to require us removing some of Boulder Hill. But as you can see, we've got some density. We've got some density. We've got some density. I'm hinting that we're eventually going to have to redo this. I just haven't really thought of the idea yet. But at Wilmar, they all share a stop. So you can transfer from any of these neighborhoods. You can come to Wilmar. And then because we have this loop, you can access any of these neighborhoods, which is exactly what we want to see. On top of all that, we also have this one line here, the purple line, which goes from the suburbs and it ends, I think, at Sheffield, actually. Yeah, it ends at Sheffield. And I wonder if it would be too disruptive to also have this extend just a bit. I think this is going to also come over here to Wilmar and stop right there. Because then that means both of these lines are right here. Yes. All right. We have our 2 loops. We've got loop 1. We've got loop 2. They share a stop at Wilmar. Then we have this other line going out this direction, which does share Sheffield, Alexandria, and Wilmar. But Wilmar is the only one where all 3 lines intersect. So now we've updated all that. We've got a much better connection over here, which is fantastic. We've not figured out this set right here yet, but I've pushed this road back. See, it all plays into each other. It just takes time. Just takes time. We're going to give this a polite curve and connect it right up and in. 10.6. I'll take a 10.6. But now that we've got all this together, I think we start actually zoning out Old City. So first things first, I think we need to go ahead and like grab this height and just set this right against the water. That's perfect. Oh, it's perfect. That is, oop, what a beautiful cap right there. I love that. Let's start figuring out this road layout. Now, the Netherlands pack, most of these buildings are pretty tiny. If we go into filter, give me Netherlands. Most of our buildings, this goes 2 back, that goes 2 back. These are all like the single houses. Some of the houses go further back. No depths of 4, no depths of 5, no depths of 6. Which means 3 is our deepest. With that in mind, and just checking the overall height here, what are we working with? Pretty flat. Pretty flat. I think I'm going to go ahead and just erase all the trees here. I don't think I want any trees. I don't think we're going to finish all this today. This will be a 2-parter, but we're going to start getting Old City together. I want to really kind of focus my efforts on maybe filling out this area to then inform the rest. So I think we've got to do a bit more terraforming before we can get this in the position we want. God, there's a train. If we were to bring this out, right? And then from here down to here, we were to slope this section. Then we were to take this, we were to bring it all the way along here like so, and continue to flatten this out. We could bring it even further, and then what we could do is give this a nice slope like that. Yes, yes. And slope all of this nicely. So if this road is here, I would love it to come down and into there. We are going to hit this pole. So what we're going to need to do is this. Bring it to here. Complex curve this puppy. Like so. And then bring this road, I think, straight on through. Although I really want it because this here is straight. I really want it to be straight to that road. This guy can come straight on out and intersect right into there. Absolutely perfect. We love to see it. There's a bunch of height change there. We'll get to that in a second. I want to limit our block sizes to being 6 tiles, which is going to sound like really, really tight. But because we only have 3 deep at the most, I want to make sure we're using this space as efficiently as we can. Can I roundabout these? It's going to be weird, but oh yeah, you can. Hold on. If I large roundabout this, that could be pretty gnarly. Can I change? Shut it down. Shut it down. I can change this color, be a play on the color of the water. That's definitely more like tealy green, kind of like this. There we go. It like matches the water. So we'd have a roundabout there. Then I think we do the same roundabout right here. Copy this color, paste this color here. And then I think we do a medium size of the similar design right there. Again, we've already got that color copied. Paste that color here. So it's kind of like, being the old city, it's almost like a fortress wall. Ooh, love. Okay. Back here, we then, what did we say this was? This was like 135, 136? Can I fit a second 136? Oh, buddy, I can. So I say we do. All right, I like this. I don't like that corner being raised, but I like the slight undulation of the land we have here, and I would want to, I think, play with that. Let's take this road right here. Let's send it forward just a little bit before we complex curve this. So we're going to go to here. We're going to then come down, and then we're going to go kind of along this edge, just like this. We're going to continue straight to here, at which point we will curve and connect up and in. Yeah. Yep. Now this area does have some height change as well, but I wonder if we slightly alter the grid at this point, so that we use this space as efficiently as we can. Connect that up. Little kink in the road is okay. This will then also lead up into this area, which we haven't figured out how that's going to play yet. Now that we have this, I think we also would bring this road over this direction. So hold on, let's grab this height again, just kind of re-smooth this section. Is that... We might be able to get through there. We might. I don't actually know if that's going to be possible, but we will try. And I like this kind of cliffy section. I'm going to keep that. I want to work on this entrance just a little bit, but I want to keep kind of the cliffs at least over there. We were using a regular road for this. Is this even able to make it underneath? Not naturally. But if I bring it out a little bit, straight to here, we give it a curve, right? turn everything off, give it a curve, snap it to the ground, constant slope. I don't think we need to go 10, but we could go maybe 5. Snap to everything. Straight. Here. Go back to 0. Curve. Yep. Then this could come right down to here. Nice. Now, I'm thinking with this, we go ahead and we upgrade this section of Dean Street into a key all the way along to there. We then lower this land so that we get to see the key. We want to see the key. That's great. And now we can just continue to do more work over here. I do think we'd want to have a road that does go underneath, right? To there, which makes me wonder if this particular block changes to accommodate that. And we get rid of those roads there just to give us some interesting shapes. Now we're no longer kind of aligning with our initial 160, or not 160, 136. But that's okay. These are much larger blocks over here. What we can do with that, I don't want so many intersections, although, older part of town, there wouldn't have been cars at this time. So no one would have been thinking about, I mean, I'm sure someone was thinking about traffic. Like, traffic still existed in its own way. But the modern concerns around traffic didn't exist. So let's act like it. We can get that. Like, where are you going? You a police car? Yeah, you're just patrolling. Oh, you're coming down here to patrol. Great. But like, you can see the height, and we've got some hills. Like, that's pretty neat. I already love this way more than the last build. If you remember, you were able to see the episode called The Lost City. It's when I built this out. I ended up hating everything that I did, and then I just deleted it. And I was like, I'm not even making this an episode because I know I'm going to delete it. So I just gave it to members to watch. It's kind of a fun idea, but this is just already looking so much better. Okay, I think we should also add more trees just all the way along this front edge here, and grass, which I know I'm saying that in the reverse of how I'm doing it, but you know what I mean. All of this will have trees and grass. All of this will also have trees and grass. I just think that would make sense to me, and that would look nice. Great. It's all a part of the same district. I haven't figured out what's happening here yet. We will figure that out later. How are you doing with ridership? You've got 9 people on you. We're going to check all that out in a minute. Everything here is working correctly. I'm loving this L section. It's just going to fly right through the highway. Like, oh, so great. I guess we want to figure out the connection here with our tram. The last stop on this line is right here at Sierra Hill. We'd want to then bring it down and in. So I need to go to trams. We need to go here. We need to go to upgrade. We'd want to continue the tram lines down this direction. Right? I can't place them there unless that's just a plain grass one. That's unfortunate. I forgot about that. We learned that before. I have to turn this into this, because then when you upgrade to trams, it turns it into pavement. And I think we'd have the trams go along this front section to here, and also go along this section here. But we can't go through the roundabout. Ooh, I want the roundabouts more than I want the trams. Actually, to be totally honest, you let me know in the comments if you think we've got to put the trams back. Feeling pretty strongly that I like the trams where they are, and I don't want to change that. Where was the last stop here? The last stop is there. Let's move that stop back a little bit to here. I know it puts it really close to the other stop, but that means I can then take these trams and I can turn them around somehow. At least for now. Remove that. Turn Anarchy off. Okay. Trams have now kind of reoriented. Tell me in the comments if you think I need to have the tram continue down here. It would make sense. Like, it would make sense. But this looks too good for me to give it up, and I don't know if I would want to get rid of that for the trams. But you tell me if we need it, because we might. And I might just be being difficult for no reason. Passengers 10. Awesome. Start doing some of our buildings. Now, I'm thinking what we do is in these areas here, these 4 blocks, I think we focus predominantly on residential. The Netherlands is just going to be residential packs. So what I want to do is focus on getting these guys here. No, those are the low rent. These guys here, they're like medium density ones. And let's start looking. I also only want level 1s. We're going to let this upgrade on its own. But to start, I can only have level 1s. So we'll place this corner piece here. We'll place another one here. Then we've got our middle-sized pieces, or center sections. They're all level 1s right now, so I don't really have any like strong feelings. This would go right here if we could fit it. Can I do that without Anarchy? I can, so we will. This is a 2-piece. Here's another 1-piece, which I'm not going to be able to do without Anarchy. Like that is fine. Turn Anarchy back off. What is this one? Another 1. Let's get a depth of 3. For the rest of these. Okay, so that's what one of these blocks is going to end up looking like. Old City now has how many residents? 597. Not bad. Let's do the rest of these real quick. Okay, we've got our 4 main blocks right there. People are doing some street parking. There's already 1,000 folks living over here. But the street parking isn't really going to work. So for that, we're going to need to add in some parking lots. And let me tell you, these Netherlands parking lots are... Netherlands parking lots are phenomenal. Hold on. It literally fits right there. Yeah. Yep. Oh my God. And this one fits right here. These are just like, they're just such versatile buildings. You can stick them anywhere. They literally look amazing wherever you choose to put them. I am so impressed by these. We're going to send that one there. Okay, that gives us a little bit more to work with. I think along this side here where we've got these buildings or this parking lot, we're just going to go ahead and do our 2 deeps. And we're going to do, I think we do low rent. The low rent Netherland houses are top tier, in my opinion. Like absolutely top tier. None of them have a depth level of 3, but they change in size. So we've got this guy here, right? Who has like a little corner piece, 2x2. Then we've got a 2x3. Then we've got the next one, which is a 4 wide, 5 wide, 6 wide. And then we go back into different variations, one with a gap, etc., etc. I think we're going to do one with a gap kind of like here in the middle. Can I fit a 5 wide there? And is that also 5? Yep. So we're going to have this lined up just like this. I prefer this colorway because, again, ocean. I like that we're leaning into the blue. I mean, right behind here, you know what's going to happen. It's got to be a path. That is literally the perfect place for a path. Bam. Connects right up. Connects into the parking garage. Amazing. The question does become, do we worry about trees along the roads? If we snap 2, I think I would want 2 means of exit into the roundabout. Again, here, 2 means, this is not an exit into the roundabout. So I would say this would be 2 means of entrance into the neighborhood. This could be 2 means of exit into the roundabout. Over here, you're entering into the neighborhood, 2 means of entrance into the neighborhood. Over here, 2 means of entrance into the neighborhood, 2 means of entrance into the neighborhood. But the exits onto the roundabouts, you have an easier chance to get out. We could also do things like this too. I mean, I guess this could easily be, turn these into larger intersections. This could face this way towards the intersection, this way towards the intersection, this way towards that intersection, this way towards that intersection, so that we've got better turn roads on the main streets, or better turning lanes on the main streets. Okay? I think we're going to also continue this right here, these low rent houses, kind of throughout this whole little section here. So let's figure out how we want to do that. I like the idea of, what's this? Where's the 6? Is this the 6? 5, 6 by 2. So this is a 6 by 2. I like the idea of having this here, having another one here. They're kind of like ending the blocks, right? Then I think with these, we're going to use my custom road. And I'm going to place the road. No, we're not going to use my custom road. We're going to use perpendicular parking alley. Right here. Along the back. Does it go that far? I don't know if it does. Because this could go right here and really not be that bad. And in fact, it can go right there and go right on through. That would mean we could then place another one of these guys here. So that one will. If we did this and this, nope, this, it's too small. It's got to be a 5. It's just a snapping issue. If I rotate this, yeah, I should be able to make this fit. So we've got this kind of like stretch of low rent housing, really closer to the parking lots, which would presumably have a bit more noise. Right in here, let's do a school. Let's do a school. Let's do it right along this road. Parking lot is right next door. The upgrades for this school offer what? Oh, pause. This school is only working here in Old City. This is a school. The school is enlarged to make room for more students. That really should go along the side of the school. And we could place it here. What is this? This is the Adventure Playground. Enhances the well-being and recreation by offering an outdoor canvas where children can express their creativity with chalk. Oh, that just attaches. That's fine. I do wonder if it would just go right here along the parking lot. But if we're doing that, no, let's do it. Let's do it. Just like that. I'm fine with that. And then to kind of make this feel like it makes a bit more sense, if we go back in here and we do the one building, I don't even remember what it's called. It is too deep. It is a level 1. I'm going to turn that off entirely. We've got a few options. We've got some residential buildings, which we will use these like little houses in a minute. There's also these guys. There's more low rent, but I don't know if I want to use that there. There's all of these. It's these. Yes. There's ones that have a flat roof, though I find it hard to believe we would remove the ornate flat roof. I think all of these ones with the really ornate tops, these would be used when we get to like kind of the front. Like you've got these back here, but like these really beautiful houses would be along this front edge and kind of fill in all of this, which I guess we could do, but I want to figure out how this works. I could have swore these were Netherland houses, but let's just see. No, they're not. United States Northeast Residential Medium Road. These are just United States buildings. Well, grab it. Because I think that's what's going to look the way I imagine. Yes. Right there. Does it make a lot of sense that they live on a parking lot? No, but like, let's just run with it. Because we can then also take these and place them right here if we wanted to. But I think what we're going to do instead is I'm going to take a moment to detail this little area. So it'd be something like that, which I think looks really nice. All right, let's make sure this has a few more services. This is probably as far as we're going to get today with this. But now that we're starting to get this together, I want to get your feedback before I go any further. Look how full this cargo train is. Oh, heck yeah. That's what we like to see. I want to get your feedback before we get too much further, and then we can keep going from there. So, healthcare, I mean, I kind of want to stick with this exact style. This is what we're building. Let's live with it. This building, I mean, what if that was up at the top of the hill? That would be pretty cool. It's got to be an old city. If that road was gone, this could go right here. The problem is then this is one connection and the next connection isn't until all the way over here. But if nothing's built up there, I guess that's okay. Or do we get rid of that section of Brookhaven Street? Although that connects all the way through the back. So no, we would not want to get rid of that. We could get rid of these two roads. Have this right here on the edge. If we were to upgrade it, that would add something there and that would add something there. But this is kind of giving Fortress, right? With the round edge there. Emblematic of the round edges. Ooh. We also need to do a death care of some kind. I like the cemetery. I actually built one off camera for fun the other day just to test out some of the pieces right here. It's very cool. Huge fan. This building is apparently not connected to the road. I got you, buddy. I got you. You ready? Bam. Now you're connected to the road. Get the heck out of here. Back over here. I think we're going to do the crematorium. I've never built this, so this would be new for me. Oh my god. Well, first of all, it would fit in that weird little spot so perfectly. It would fit perfectly in one of these blocks. Shut up. I like the idea of it going here. Right? I like the idea of it going here. It can also get an expansion, which could go somewhere else. These are additional cars. This is only going to operate in this district. And then what we'll do is around this whole area, look at all the people walking. Maybe we do need a tram. Oh my gosh. We're going to give all this mowed grass. Let's go ahead and get a large fire station. 5 fire trucks. Probably overkill to the max. But I think everyone living here would appreciate having strong fire protections. We'll put it right here in the corner. Again, loud building near the lower density or the lower income place. That would make sense. Let's also build a few 1x1s. It's a 1x2. A few 1x1s right here. Kind of in a row. Like an American style row home. And then what I would do with these is I would likely just mess around with these surfaces to make this work a little bit better. If we go like this, kind of fill in that corner. Over here we can do the same. Fill in this corner up to here. Behind it, it would be grass. And again, just a tree or two. Nothing crazy. Just enough to make it feel like you've put some thought into the little corner there. I might even add like a fountain or a bench. That looks pretty good. We need police for sure. This could go right here. Facing that direction. It's right along the water. But if we imagine right here is going to be kind of a touristy strip, right down here by the roundabout is where you can get to the police station. Again, just got to do some small fixes to the surfaces. If that was dragged over, that would look great. If this enveloped the whole back, this would look great. Fill all this in. And then we can even clean that connection up there. I think right next to this, I wouldn't mind having just a little path, especially if we snap to the side of the building here. Screw it. A path with a sidewalk. Would we sidewalk here? No. That I would not sidewalk. Okay. This, I think, needs to be a park. Like, that works. I didn't have to Anarchy nothing for that. It made a hole. Which I don't know how I feel about that. Can I... Okay. When that kind of thing happens, here's what you do. You grab Anarchy, and you grab a few rocks. You just fill it with rocks until it looks intentional. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We've got fire. We've got police. We didn't have any government services buildings, and there wasn't any that came with the pack, so I'm not going to build anything there. This area does not have a post office, and there is a Netherlands post office. There's also the historic post office. This, I think, would make sense down here because this is supposed to be a historic area. Right here. Right here. Put it right there. Big, new, shiny building. It also has an upgrade for the City Museum plus 5% attractiveness citywide and 100 indoor recreation. Builds it right on the back. Right now, what do we have? We've got vans, or we could do that. Let's fill out this block, and I think that's where we're going to call it. I know we just removed the parking that was right here. There's a parking lot just down the block. I'm going to add a little bit of parking, I think, along the side, and I'm wondering if I can just do it like this. Right? Makes this a little interesting, but that's okay. Because then we can extend this down to here. Keep this back area open, but I think what we do is we would add in a pathway. Really all the way through. Does that work? Is that like clipping into anything? No. Okay. Add that pathway there. There we go. There we go. This side also needs grass. Let's go ahead and do that. Turn all of our snap trees back on. Fill this puppy in with grass. Bam. And then just a few trees. And this section is also done. All right, guys, I think that's where we're going to end this part here. A quick shout out to my channel members. Thanks so much for your support. I really appreciate it. If you're interested in becoming a channel member, click the link in the description below to unlock custom emojis, loyalty badges, early access to videos, save game files, members-only content, merchandise discounts, and more. And until next time, leave your questions, comments, and feedback down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Lorelai, follow your dad out. I can't have your tippy taps. I can't edit them out.